How does one start a video about Christmas?
With a Merry Christmas.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be a Merry Christmas.
Okay.
You can't say.
On three.
You can't do a Christmas video.
1, 2, 3.
Merry Christmas!
Oh, okay.
There's no enthusiasm.
Okay. Well, can you bring yours down a bit?
Grinch. All right.
Merry Christmas. No.
See, now I sound depressed.
Yeah.
Hype it up. Hype it up. Try the hype up. 1, 2, 3.
After 3, 1, 3.
Merry Christmas! You breathed in.
Merry Christmas from everyone at Tabletop Gaming. So we're here today to talk about games that you can play on Christmas Day with your family or not.
Best games on Christmas Day. Obviously, you've got to be a little bit careful with COVID, and it's up to you to make sure that you can do this responsibly. Wash your hands, make sure you stay away from people. Stick to the ones that are further apart if you're not in your bubble. However, that does not mean to say there aren't great games for Christmas, and it doesn't have to be Monopoly. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah. And we're going to give you a list of things that you can do instead.
It probably shouldn't be Monopoly. So here's...
Don't do it to Monopoly. I am the champion of Monopoly.
So what have we got first, Charlie? What's our first recommendation for Christmas Day frolicking fun with family?
I'm very impressed that you've managed that. That was very good. I think you should get Don't Get Got.
Don't Get Got comes in many, many flavours. You can get Christmas flavour, you can get vanilla flavour, you can get maybe a Shut Up and Sit Down flavour now.
There is a Shut Up. I've backed the Shut Up and Sit Down. I'm very, very excited about it. Comes with a pin as well.
It depends on whatever kind of flavoured getting got you want to get got with. And really, it's the game. How does the game work, Charlie?
Okay, so this is the reason why it's the first game that we're talking about, is because you can play it over the period of Christmas Day. You set people up with their challenges, and through the day they need to try and get other people got with those challenges. So it might be that they need to say a certain phrase. It might be that you hide your card in a bowl of sweets and it's up to them to find it. It could be anything absolutely random to quite sensible, easy ones, and it's all about being a little bit sneaky. But I like it because you can play it through the day. So start off with Don't Get Got in the morning, welcome the family in, hello, we're going to sit down for tea in 2 hours. Let's start on challenges first, and then see who gets got.
Yeah, and I think the way it works is like once you've got someone, you give them the card as their mark of shame.
Oh, you turn over the card.
You turn over the card.
You get a nice little, what would you call it, a folio?
A folio.
A folio. I don't know what you call it.
The Folio Society edition of Don't Get Got.
That would be glorious. Hardback, bound. I'm all about it. But no, it's just like a little opening thing that they go in, and then you turn them over when you've got it, and it's first to try and do all of them. So Get Got.
Get Got. A good one to start off with, and one that everyone can get involved with. Probably you'll forget about it by the time you've all had your 4th pint of sherry.
But that's the point. Keep it in your brain, and you'll always win. Yeah. The other thing is though, is that they're from Big Potato. Yes. And Big Potato games are great for party games anyway. So although we're only including Don't Get Got in this list, there are tons of other games that are perfect from them. So their newest one is, I think, Herd Mentality.
Yes, it's got a squeezy cow.
That's a good one. It's a very cool little cow. I really want one. But also things like Obama Llama, which was one of my gateway games, which is all about rhyming, but really good for playing with the whole family. And they have a Christmas flavoured one as well. You have Santa Banter, which I think might just be behind you as well.
But behind Potato, you can't see that. What says Christmas more than a load of trains?
I don't know. What says Christmas more than a load of trains?
That wasn't a joke.
Damn it.
The answer is Ticket to Ride.
I mean, it's a good answer. It's just...
So Ticket to Ride is the classic gateway game of putting trains on places to create routes, to claim routes to win the game eventually. Now, the version I'd suggest that you pick up for your actual Christmas Day playing is one of the small box versions, the 2 to 4 player versions, which they come in city flavours of Amsterdam,
nice,
London,
nice,
New York.
Aha.
And what's more Christmassy than something happening in New York when it's snowing? It's not a joke,
absolutely
that one.
Absolutely nothing.
These versions are just small and perfectly formed. They let you play games in sort of maybe 15 to 20 minutes for 2 players, or if there's more of you, it comes out about 40 minutes if everyone knows what they're doing. And it doesn't really matter if you don't know what you're doing because it's so quick that people can have learning games without any frustration whatsoever. So perfect one for Christmas Day because it's low stress. There's low stress in the real game. So that's my train-based recommendation.
Okay, so next up is entertaining children, because they're always going to be around on Christmas Day.
They are like street urchins.
Very Dickensian, I like it. Best one that we recommend perhaps for that is something like Dobble, which is a lovely matching game, again, in many flavours.
Yeah, every flavour.
Every flavour.
Star Wars.
Is there a Star Wars one?
I think.
Ooh.
Is there one?
I don't know.
I think there is one.
There's definitely a Harry Potter one, and
Yeah.
there's a Disney Princess one. That's quite
Yeah.
fun. And a normal one,
Yeah.
and a waterproof one.
There's one that's like a LOL one that has like
Yes.
things that you might write in text messages, like. No, 15
Yes,
years
I think there
ago.
are dolls and things like that. I'm not entirely sure. I feel
Oh,
like
is that related?
I bought a thing for Christmas that was a LOL doll,
Yeah.
maybe.
The point
for
is
a
that there's
child.
something that all the children will enjoy because they recognise something on it. And it turns out it's quite a good game. How does it work, Charlie?
Well, there's tons of ways it works. It's got loads of little mini games in it, which is quite surprising when you first open it. You think it's one game, actually it's tons. Essentially, you're matching, so you're going to try and get rid of your hand by matching the different symbols that are on each of the cards. It turns out to be very, very quick though, and you need to jump in quickly before someone else lays their card down and the whole symbols change again. You've got to start over. However, there's things like sudden deathmatch, there's things like trying to give your cards to other people, there's all sorts of different ways to play it, which means you're not sort of stuck doing the one thing. This is just matching. Oh, actually, let's turn it round because I'm better at this game as well.
Yeah, so it's a good one. Also, just to mention, there is like a waterproof version as well for the
Yeah.
beach. Now, no one's going on holiday.
No, but we do have beaches in the UK.
Yeah, so if you want to go to the really windy beach
Yeah.
on Christmas Day,
Wrap up warm,
wrap up warm,
and
take Dobble.
take Dobble, and things that can weigh it down, because I
Yeah,
think
'cause it'll
you're
be really windy.
going to struggle otherwise. Anyway,
The Mind is a game by Wolfgang Walsh. It's a game of laying numbers on top of each other in the right order and making sure that the other person doesn't lay a number that doesn't sort of stop you laying all the numbers you want to lay. And you just want to lay all the numbers.
it's a lot
That's
of
it.
numbers.
Yeah, it's just putting them in order. It's pretty good. But the interesting part of it is
Uh-huh.
you don't have to talk. So there's no communication in this game between people. You have to do it silently and look in the eye of the other players and tell them, do not bloody lay a number 4. For those of you who do not want to talk to your family on Christmas Day, this is an excellent choice.
This is also, I feel, a great way of the kids that are too loud because they've had too much sugar sit down and play the Mind, and they have to have that little bit of quiet time.
Yeah.
I feel like as I get older, these sorts of things are more important than the children are quieter.
The Mind was described by Asger, the creator of Copenhagen, or the co-creator of Copenhagen, one of the best games of last year, as a dance. And that's what it is, really. You are trying to communicate with other people without having to kind of, without any of the usual cues that you'd use in games, the usual clear communication that you rely on in games to kind of get stuff done in an efficient manner. This is a cooperative game where you're just trying to read each other around the room. And hopefully, because you're playing with your family, it'll go really well. Doesn't matter though, it's going to be a good fun time anyway.
Just like your description of it as a dance has me thinking of like, what is a Christmas dance? And you have you like rocking around the Christmas tree.
Yes.
But also there's things like the Nutcracker, I want to say, with the ballet, and then trying to play the Mind as a ballet.
The Mind is a ballet.
But can you play the Mind as a ballet?
No.
You look at me like this. This
No,
could be a great Christmas.
absolutely
This is like a viral video waiting to happen.
Absolutely, yes.
And
Play
if
the
you do it, I want to see it.
What Christmas dance can you do to the Mind? That's our challenge for you, our Christmas challenge for you.
Christmas challenge.
Yeah.
Hashtag dance TTG?
Sure.
Yeah. Just let us know. Just tag us. Just tell us what's happening, and I'm very excited about what we might see.
Have you ever wanted to be a secret agent?
Well,
at
the
Christmas.
The thought has crossed my mind. I do wonder sort of how festively I could be a secret agent, because I mean I like these. They're a little bit obtrusive. You've got a bell on yours. You're not sneaking anywhere. So we'll have to do it through communication, but that's okay because we have Codenames. Obviously, it's not the newest of games, but it is a fabulous one for Christmas because it gets people in teams, gets people discussing, gets people sort of just chatting over what's happening without any real sort of barrier to entry. So this one is your standard flavour. Again with the flavours. I like this. There's a good lot of sort of customisation.
Brussels sprouts Codenames. They have turkey flavoured Codenames. They have gravy flavoured Codenames.
Yeah. Yorkshire puddings. That's the most contentious one because should you play the Yorkshire pudding one at Christmas or should you play it throughout the year on your Sunday lunches?
Yeah, I play it every Sunday.
You may do, but do you play it at Christmas?
Well, it's actually, the thing is, it's my grandmother's Codenames. So it's,
So you just do as Grandma says. Grandma says, Yorkshire puddings on Christmas Day and Sundays. Spoiled for Yorkshire puddings.
So how do we make a Yorkshire pudding? I mean, how do we play Codenames?
I mean, my Yorkshire pudding went very badly last year, but that's a whole different story. So, Codenames is, you're going to have your, I'm just going to interrupt for a moment because I've noticed that in the example on the back of words that you can use is the word turkey. So it's just built for Christmas. This is exactly what you should be playing. But what you're going to do, you're going to lay out some words in front of you and one person is going to try and link certain words by giving you a one-word hint. It might be that they say this is Christmas for one and then you pick up turkey. But it might be that there's another one there that's tree. So you might say Christmas for two. And then that person's going to try and guess, look at all the words there, and hopefully pick out Christmas, hopefully pick out turkey, hopefully pick out tree. However, it is never as simple as that, because that would just be, well, it'll be over in a minute and you wouldn't have much left to do, whereas at least we can stretch that to a 15-minute game. By having teams, so you need to try and not pick your opponent's cards. There are also danger cards which make the rounds over straight away. And yeah, it's just a very quick, very fun, very conversational game.
I think this is kind of the game you replace like Pictionary with or charades or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's
it's like
a fair shout.
A classic sort of Christmas Day or family gathering thing is to play those kind of like semi-collaborative team games of do you know what I mean?
And somebody still wins, which...
Are there still winners?
With a competitive Christmas, somebody has to win in my Christmases. And this one is a really, real victory to be able to win, because for ages later you can be like, you got that wrong.
Do you know who the real winner at Christmas is?
Who's the real winner at Christmas?
Jesus.
I thought you were going to give me a cracker joke. All right, Jesus. Okay, literally.
It's Christmas. You might want to lock yourself in the drinks cabinet, but what if you didn't? Let's try again.
No, let's not. Let's keep that. I like that.
Chris, you're on a roll, mate. Even I'm finding this funny.
Okay, so our next recommendation for a game to play at Christmas is a little bit more grown up, but not much more. It's Unlock. They're just generally any of them. They're all. I'm going to say this in the kindest possible way. They're all pretty much the same.
It's all a game in a box that you can play a couple of times. However, if you like one, you'll like all of them. Is what I've been finding with them.
Yes, yeah. I really like the system. I think it's really funny and often a humorous way to spend your time with family, especially because it gets everyone involved. What is Unlock?
I don't know, Chris. What is Unlock?
It's a game about. It's kind of like an escape room game sort of thing.
Yeah.
Adventure-based system of spotting things and in cards and then revealing other cards and then working your way through a series of puzzles until eventually you have unlocked the secrets of, in this case, the clutches of Hades or Professor Noisy's Animal-O-Matic or Around the World in 18 minutes. To mention the number of minutes involved there is a good reminder that this is a game that's on a timer. There's a little app you get for your phone. It does things like gives you hints. Sometimes it is the lock that you have to enter your number into to unlock the locked thing.
It also gives you penalties, which was when I played it quite the thing. They're like, oh, you've input this wrong, so we're taking away a minute, and a minute is a very long time when you start to get in the last 10 minutes, and you're desperately trying to work out what the end is. Same as you are in any escape room. So.
And this is a great game for the whole family, and I mean that absolutely sincerely, in the sense that similar people will approach the puzzles in a similar way. So I've played this a lot with my brother. We're very similar people. We try to fix all the puzzles in the same way, and we really struggled with some of them because of that. But when we had bigger groups with more varied age ranges and different ways of looking at the world, we all came together to find different ways of looking at things that really it helps you do the lateral thinking between all the other puzzle elements, and that's why it's so like inclusive, really. Kids can play this because they can spot numbers and say, that's a number, guys, did you see that? And everyone else will say, no, I've not got my glasses on. And so there's something literally for everyone in these boxes. It says 10 plus. You could play it younger with someone who just wanted to do spotting.
Sounds
That's Unlock. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay, so next game to play at Christmas is one that I'd call a bit of a gateway game. If you've got that type of family, they've played Catan, they've played Dobble, they've played Codenames, they're sort of going, oh, I want something a little bit more. Mysterium. Now, it's no secret that I loved Mysterium, absolute favourite game coming into this whole thing, and then they brought out Mysterium Park, which is a streamlined version of it. Now, I appreciate the theme may not be very Christmassy. It's all about talking to the dead and receiving visions to work out who murdered them.
I think the ghost of Christmas past, present and future will tell you. That's absolute nonsense, Charlie.
Fabulous. I take it all back. It's very well themed. It is all about the ghosts that you should be aware of from the Muppets Christmas Carol. So
the canonical version that Charles Dickens adapted to the novel form.
This is one of the hills that I will die on, that it is a very accurate adaptation.
That's the canonical version.
It is. It's perfect. Why isn't Rizzo the rat and everything?
In Mysterium Park, you play as Kermit the Frog. But he's dead.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
Okay,
my
sorry.
Christmas
Sorry,
ruined.
I've ruined it.
Wow. Okay. Right. Well,
Sorry. Try again.
With that dreadful news, what I'll do is I'll say that Mysterium Park is all about sort of finding the person that's died and the circumstances in which that they have done so. So you're going to have your ghost, the person that plays as the ghost, and then your fellow players who are your investigators. The same sort of thing in Mysterium Park as Mysterium, so both of them are a bit interchangeable. But what will happen is they'll know which of those is correct. So it might be that they were murdered in the boat room. That's the first one I can think of. Or the library. Yeah, it's got like a fireplace and then just loads of ships across the top. What room would you call that?
I would call that the boat room.
The boat room, exactly. So once, obviously, murdered in the boat room. But things like the library, the dining table, however it is, it's like Cluedo, but if Cluedo were in Tabletop. But that's this.
Yeah.
So the ghost can only give certain hints though, and those hints are through abstract cards. So you may have a very abstract card of a cat sat on a house, and that's supposed to somehow represent the boat room. Can you make the link? No, I can't make the link. So you just have to hope that your fellow players will do so.
The cat is sat on...
The cat is sat on the house.
Okay.
Now you've got to get to boat.
You could maybe say
Go on.
that it's a room that a cat would not want to be in because it's wet.
Yeah.
And
therefore is on the top of the house to escape it.
Yes. I don't think we would be winning this game, but still.
You say that. The more you play, the more ridiculous the reasonings you use for what this card means to this is. And that's why I find it brilliant, because the justification is ridiculous. And trying to explain, no, it's definitely this, it's definitely going to be that. And the person opposite you going, no, I think they mean this and that. You have a really great conversation and it gets quite silly, which is half the fun, to be honest, at Christmas. What's better than arguing over who's going to win?
Absolutely. The only thing better I can think of is talking to the dead.
It's all in one. Now, a game is for life, not just for Christmas, and Cat and Mouth is the perfect example of that. It is my absolute favourite game from this year, which is why I'm keeping hold of it, to make sure that it doesn't disappear anywhere. However, I would say that this is the game that you want to be playing with your family at Christmas. It is part luck, part skill. I think depending on how good you are, depends on how much you think it's skill versus luck. I think it's quite a lot of luck because I'm not very skilled at it.
I mean, I would say it's the game that Roman emperors would have played to decide upon
Yes.
champions.
We wouldn't have needed the Colosseum
The Colosseum would not have been needed.
if we'd had this.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should put that on the strapline.
They should have done.
They should.
Yeah.
What this is a little game that you're going to fold it out. So it's very, very cute. You fold it out as the box itself. And then what you're going to try and do is flick balls through the cat mouth to try and knock out the teeth or the nose. I think you can attest, however, it is highly competitive.
It's highly competitive.
Seal of approval. The fact is, this is a game for ages 7+, but you can probably play lower with some supervision or a lot of supervision.
Some, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends if you want to keep your balls.
That is the question. That is the question you should always be asking. Do you want to keep your balls?
Yeah.
With that, the game also plays in a tournament mode, so you can play that online. But honestly, it's a fun little dexterity game where you can try and beat your family and take home the championship.
Charlie, I think we should set this up.
Do you want to set this up?
Okay.
Let's have a look. This will tell you how well I packed it away. I like keeping things. So,
This is the cat's mouth, for anyone who doesn't know.
and the paw. We'll leave those aside for now, but these are your bumpers to stop you from losing the balls
Oh, no,
as much.
Let's go.
You want to put a proper bumper in?
Yep, yep.
Ha-ha!
Whoops.
Fix it. So, if this doesn't look like the best game you've ever seen, then you're potentially wrong. But
So the teeth go in here. These are cat teeth.
and then we've got a little cat nose.
That's a cat nose. And these are your path to victory. Go on then, let's have a game. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
So the aim of the game is to either knock out the white teeth that are in the middle. If you get all 3 to the opponent's side, then you win the turn. If you knock out the black ball that represents the nose, however, that is an instant win. It's just a little bit more difficult to do so.
To be honest, it's quite an intense game.
It's one where if you get a good soundtrack behind you, like you feel the energy, and then you start strategizing. So next time I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then this is going to work, and then this is going to happen. And you know what? It never does. It never works like it's supposed to.
That's game. Champion.
It is a luck-based game, and not a skill-based game.
It's a game entirely based on skill. So this is a game of cat and mouth. This is one of our highly recommended, most
Must
recommended, is a must play.
I
And
love this game.
we recommend it for Christmas, for the rest of your life, and for as long as you keep all your balls.
Oh, and they give you spares. Even better.
3, 2, 1, Christmas.
Christmas!
That's right, it's Christmas time. Now you've watched this video.
And now you know what you can play on Christmas Day.
These are perfect gifts to wrap up and put to family from Santa and slide under the Christmas tree like a little gift to yourself.
It's also a good way to get your family involved, because if you buy them Codenames, they're morally obliged to then play Codenames on Christmas Day.
That's the idea.
That is the idea.
We hope you've enjoyed watching this. So I'm Chris.
And I'm Charlie.
And you can find us in all sorts of places. You can find us at tabletopgaming.co.uk.
You can. You can also find us on Twitter at tabletopmag, on Instagram at tabletop_gaming_magazine, and then on Facebook at Tabletop Gaming Magazine.
Yeah. Also on TikTok.
Also on TikTok. I have great fun on TikTok.
Yeah.
Join me on TikTok. It's at tabletopmag.
Oh, and YouTube. We're here. That's where you are.
That's where you are right now.
Yeah.
So if you're lost, you're good.
And if you enjoy this, but would maybe like to read it instead of watching us talk to you, there's this magazine that we do as well. Hold on.
Just casually. We'll just do a magazine.
Sometimes we do this. We do this every month. You can subscribe to this magazine here. This is
All of your tabletop gaming needs.
It's literally all of them. 100 pages.
100 pages.
100
pages.
100 glossy, beautiful pages.
Packed full of reviews, features.
Like 30 odd reviews a month
30
at this
reviews.
point. It's insane.
Which is how we can tell you that these are the best games to play at Christmas.
Yes, because we've played them all. 3, 2, 1. Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, hold on.
You said Christmas.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What would you like?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.